Megan, we agreed today. I wasn't wearing a dress from an Easter clown, um, although this is kind of an Easter pastel, so a little matchy matchy, but certainly not as busy as what you had on. Yes, that video of the Newsmax anchor's interview with Mike Liddell, the pillow guy, um, was hilarious. You truncated the video, so we didn't see the great bit when it's just Liddell yammering and the Newsmax anchor just reading the basically the legal note, um, making sure that the Newsmax's asses are covered from Dominion not getting sued, while Liddell's just going on and on about the big lie of the election fraud that didn't happen. And then he just gets up and leaves the interview. I'm right there with you. I watched it several times yesterday, laughing, sent it to many people. So look at that. Who says there's no common ground? And then we moved on to talking about the White House press secretary asking for questions from the press corps in advance. And you answered that question by starting with, I'm a Republican. Megan, we know you're a Republican. You don't need to tell us that. In just a broader sense of trying to use less words, which you should be, working on, you could eliminate those words. We know that you're a Republican. You don't need to introduce that to us on a continual basis. It also had zero bearing on your answer to the question. Should the White House press secretary, be asking for questions in advance from the press corps? That's not a partisan issue one way or the other. So it really doesn't matter that you're a Republican to answer that question. You did then, of course, want to get into your discussion of, the Democrats would be going down your favorite slippery slope if they want to go in this direction. And in the meantime, in trying to make your point, talked about the fact that you weren't pontificating out of your face about journalists. And, quite frankly, most of what you do, Megan, is pontificating out of your face. So, again, less words. We moved on to the congressman, whose name escapes me. He's from Illinois, and he voted to impeach in the House, and is on this, campaign about, bringing back the soul of the Republican Party. And all of you basically asked the same question, which is, how does the Republican Party distance itself from the crazies like Marjorie Taylor Greene? You, of course, started your questioning with, "Hi, Adam, we're friends." Again, less words, not anything we need to know. It was clear that you were friends from the way he was, going on and on about your dad. So we knew you were going to love this dude. Your dad, the late Senator John McCain, just in case anyone isn't aware of who your father is and who you're the daughter of. But he said something about, that these, and he never used her name, which I thought was interesting. That whole, Trumpian faction of the party is not who the Republican Party is, and it's not who this country is. And you have to stop saying that, because it is who the Republican Party is. I get that there are a few Republicans who are saying we don't want this, but until you are saying, no, Marjorie Taylor Greene, no, we don't want you in our committees. We don't want you caucusing with us. He made a good point to say we can't stop her from calling herself a Republican, but you can categorically denounce her, denounce all of those conspiracy theories. But you're not. You're, as a group, your party is welcoming all of the Trumpian bullshit and brouhaha. So you can't say that's not who the Republican Party is, because it is. Because you're doing zero things to eliminate that from the party. And still talking about political calculations. Do I need to kowtow to that base? Well, then you're clearly saying that they are a part of your party if you're wanting to, if you're still trying to make the political calculation about whether or not you need them. Yeah, so that's another just a big lie within your party, that these QAnon and conspiracy theory crazies are not the GOP, because they are. And then we didn't get to hear about what keeps you up at night. Why are you anxious, Meghan? If your answer wasn't that you have a newborn, I would have been surprised. Because, liberty, liberty, liberty. Liberty. Liberty, bibberty.